Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Todd Chrisley rubs his special treatment in prison in Julie's face. Since their presidential pardon, Todd and Julie Chrisley have been sharing their stories of their time behind bars. During a recent podcast appearance, the two shared that they actually had two different experiences while in prison. Fans have also been sharing their reactions to the recent share. Todd and Julie Chrisley answered a fan's question during a recent podcast episode. Todd and Julie Chrisley were introduced to fans from the USA Network series, Chrisley Knows Best. In 2022, they were both convicted of a variety of charges, including bank fraud and tax evasion. Originally, the two were sentenced to a combined 19-year sentence in prison. However, they both received an early release thanks to a pardon from President Donald Trump. Since then, the two have also been sharing their story with fans. Taking to Instagram, the Chrisley family promoted the recent return of their podcast series. As the post shared, "This is not a drill, y'all. The unfiltered chaos you asked for is here. And clearly we're still not holding back. Chrisley Confessions 2.0 is alive." During the podcast episode, Julie read a question asking Todd if there was anything he enjoyed while in prison. He shared, "I had Chick-fil-A." When Julie tried to interject, Todd shared, "I'm not gonna come on here and lie." Todd then revealed he enjoyed quite a few fast food options while in prison. He shared, "I had Chick-fil-A. I had Burger King, I had pizza, I had Culver's," which let me just go ahead and tell you, this is not an ad. But Culver's is my jam now. I had Olive Garden once, but I didn't like it. Julie then interjected, noting what I ate in prison, which was none of that none. I had not one morsel of outside food for 28 months. Todd then asked if she had made any friends with the staff. Julie said she didn't, but noted that she cooked some foods in prison, even sharing that she'd like to film these recipes for fans. Instead, Todd shared that he had a chef who would make his food. He shared, "I had quesadillas that he would make with an iron with pepperonis and pizza sauce that I had brought in from Walmart." Fans also touched on how different things were for Todd and Julie. For her part, Julie shared she ate a lot of tuna, noting she didn't really eat it before prison. She also shared eating quesadillas, nachos, and making a pickle wrap. Todd teased he wouldn't eat that. When Julie shared he wouldn't know until he tried, he replied, "I had Culver's." Why would I eat a pickle wrap? On social media, fans shared their own reactions to the discussion. Noting the different experiences Todd and Julie had, some fans even thought Todd could have been a bit more sympathetic towards his wife. Some comments included, "From the moment Todd Chrisley stepped into the gates of FPC Pensacola, he'd made up his mind about one thing. He wasn't just going to survive prison. He was going to thrive in it." While most inmates trudged through their sentences bitter and broken, Todd had taken to prison life like it was a new reality show. Chrisley knows cells, as he liked to call it. Thanks to his notoriety, his Southern charm, and a well-timed donation to the prison chapel's sound system, funded through connections, naturally, Todd found himself enjoying privileges that most inmates could only dream of. He was allowed extended time in the library, had somehow finagled a double mattress, and rumor had it he even got real coffee instead of the bland instant mix served to the general population, and that wasn't even the half of it. But what really ruffled feathers, particularly in a certain Kentucky facility, was how much Todd loved talking about it, especially when speaking with his wife, Julie. Every Sunday, their scheduled 20-minute video call began the same way. Julie, sitting in her prison's tiny common area, dressed in plain brown, would nervously adjust her glasses and greet him. But Todd would already be leaning back in a cushioned chair, sipping what suspiciously looked like a mocha latte from a travel mug with his name on it. "Well, hello there, darlin', how's life in solitary sadness?" he'd croon, flashing that million-dollar grin. Julie's jaw would clench just slightly. "I'm fine, Todd. Keeping to myself,
That's the spirit.
staying out of trouble." Meanwhile, I just got back from a yoga and meditation workshop. You wouldn't believe the stretch I can do now. I swear, I feel 20 years younger. Maybe I'll start modeling for the prison newsletter. Julie blinked, unamused. "They let you do yoga." Todd shrugged as if it were the most natural thing in the world. "Well, not everyone. But I may have dropped a few notes in the right hands about improving inmate morale. Next thing you know, I've got a mat with my name on it and a personal trainer named Rhonda who used to coach Miss Florida contestants. Todd, I get 10 minutes of fresh air and a choice between boiled chicken or boiled rice." He laughed a little too gleefully. "Boiled chicken? Oh, honey, they'd riot if they served that here. Our new kitchen guy used to be a chef at a country club. Last night we had baked ziti with a side salad and garlic bread." Julie's eye twitched. "Are you bragging about ziti?" "Not just any ziti, artisanal ziti. And don't even get me started on movie night. We watched The Shawshank Redemption, and I gave a full commentary on prison etiquette. The boys were riveted." Julie's lips pressed into a thin line. Todd could practically see the steam rising from her collar. "Oh, don't look so sour, sweetheart," he added, waving his hand. "I keep telling you, you need to put yourself out there. Maybe teach a baking class. I know you still remember that red velvet cupcake recipe. I'm in a dorm with 60 women, 3 showers, and 1 microwave. If I want a cupcake, I have to barter with someone's Raymond stash." Todd tilted his head with theatrical pity. "Well, that's just undignified. But hey, remember what I always say. When life hands you prison, decorate your cell with flair." Julie didn't laugh. She rarely did anymore. "Do you ever think about what got us here, Todd?" she asked softly, her tone suddenly serious. Todd blinked. "You mean our unjust conviction? Every single day. But I also think about our brand. Our legacy. I mean, if Martha Stewart can go to jail and come back stronger, so can we. I'm even thinking of launching a podcast from inside." Julie blinked. "You're in prison." "Exactly. That's the hook. The gospel according to Todd. Live from the inside. I already have 2 inmates signed on as co-hosts. We're workshopping themes." Julie stared blankly, feeling the heat in her chest grow hotter by the second. "Do you even miss me?" Todd froze for a split second before recovering with a smooth smile. "Of course I do, Sugarplum. You and the kids. Every single moment. But dwelling on sadness doesn't help anyone. I choose joy." "You choose delusion," she snapped. There was a pause. "You know," she continued, "sometimes I lay awake at night and wonder if you're even aware of how different our experiences are. I clean floors. I wash other inmates' underwear. You're sipping gourmet coffee with Rhonda the yoga guru." Todd blinked, his ego dented. "Julie, sweetheart, I didn't ask for special treatment. But you never turned it down either, did you?" His face tightened. For the first time, he looked a bit less smug and a little more like the man who once preached family values on national television. Julie sighed. "I just thought, maybe this time, we'd go through something real together. Not in front of cameras. Not with a script. But here you are, turning even this into a performance." Todd didn't respond right away. He looked down at the travel mug in his hand, suddenly aware of how silly it seemed now. "Julie, hi. I don't know how to do hard things quietly," he admitted. "Maybe it's pride. Maybe it's fear. But this is how I survive. And this, she whispered, is how I endure. The call timer began flashing. They had 1 minute left. I still love you, Todd said, quietly now, his voice no longer laced with theatrics. Julie gave a small nod, her eyes softer than they had been in weeks. I love you too, Todd. But maybe next time, just ask how I'm doing, without the city story. He smiled sheepishly. Deal. As the screen went dark, both Chrisleys sat in their respective prisons, one surrounded by soft privileges, the other hardened by silence, but connected, for a moment, by something real. Todd set the mug down and looked at it differently. The special treatment might have cushioned his sentence, but it hadn't healed what was broken.